Good Friday morning, foggers. I hope everybody had a good week and you're looking forward to your weekend with your family and friends and doing what it is that you like to do. As you can see, I'm sporting the new 3 a.m. shirt. I've had it there for a little bit and I'm trying to decide what to do with it. But so what do I bring you today? Today, just in conversation with people over the last couple of days, some people who have made bad decisions or mistakes, right? And they're getting down on themselves for a multitude of reasons. So I want to share a story with you, honest to God, true story. A lot of people that have worked with me know this story because it's one of my better stories. And obviously, when you work almost 29 years, you have a treasure trove of stories, some that you can never ever share because, just to protect people in circumstances, and others that are not good. And I think this one is a good story and it might help people out. So just bear with me. So back in probably when I got cut loose on the road, 93, 94, in that area, we were involved, a multitude of us, in a high-speed pursuit with a stolen car, right? Eventually the car crashes. 3 or 4, I think there was like 4 subjects, teenagers, bail out. I catch one, right? Not running. Don't even think that I ran after this kid. So whatever, we caught up to him. I caught him, and you take him into custody. There's always a little talk and a little action, and move on. Fast forward, I would say I was back in K9, so maybe 96, 2 or 3 years later. I'm working an off-duty security job, and for civilians, an off-duty job is where you see police officers working at stores and shopping malls and whatever, and it's extra pay, and we do that for that reason. So anyway, so I'm working at this new movie theater that had just opened, and my day off, minding my own business. There wasn't really a lot of people, and a kid walks up to me, a young man walks up to me, and he goes, "Hey, you remember me?" And again, I'm not working in I'm in uniform, but I'm not working, in a bad area. I'm not a complete heightened, but right away, I said, "No, I don't." And he goes, "Yeah, you remember you caught me, you kicked my ass, and you told me I was a piece of shit." Right away, I bladed my stance, right? Reactionary gap. I improved my distance there. And I go, "Yeah, and?" Right away, the wall comes up. And he goes, "I wanted to thank you." He goes, "Because of what you told me and what happened between you and I really took some time to evaluate who I was, and I'm not a piece of shit like you said." And he goes, "And I'm actually in the farm system for the New York Mets, and I'm a pitcher for the New York Mets organization. And I wanted to thank you for that." And I said, "Okay, man, I'm glad that you turned your life around," whatever. And he went about his life. So my message to you is, sometimes the mistakes that we make in our life, they're not about you at all. Don't always want to take negative stuff and put it in your backpack, right? It's just sometimes you were the seed or the lesson that some people needed in their life, right? Sometimes we make horrible decisions. I have made a million decisions. I'll probably make another bad mistake today, and we'll go on making mistakes throughout our life until the day God calls us home, right? But some of us want to, not because we want to, but some of us just have this thing that we need to carry around, this burden, this negative bag of shit that we carry, right? And that bag gets heavy, all right? We all make mistakes. If you're able to go back and, talk to that person that you affected negatively because of a mistake. I'm not talking about that you were bad. If you made a mistake and you're able to go back and say, "Hey man, I'm sorry, I apologize, that's not what I meant," that gives you that forgiveness and that closure that you need to move on. But I'm going to tell you something, and the reason why I bring this up, how you see yourself, and we're always talking about loving yourself and acceptance and things. How you see yourself is the very beginning of healing, right? A lot of things happen to us in our childhood that were not our fault, yet we want to take them like we made those mistakes and take on that burden, right? And at a retreat that I had years ago, a men's retreat, one of the guys talked about how he carried this bag of shit, right? And he had a bunch of rocks in a big weightlifting duffel bag. And he dropped it on the table, and that sound, I'll never forget it. because a lot of us carry that. Imagine you were going on a hike and I gave you a gallon of water and a granola bar, right? And every half mile, somebody else gave you a gallon of water and a granola bar. Well, the object is for you to be drinking that water and eat that granola bar till you get to the next stop. If you're carrying that entire bag, you are never gonna finish that hike. And life, as we talk about it, is a journey. It's a hike through life, right? And if you're carrying a bag of shit, right, it's horrible. So give up that bag, drop that bag, okay? Pick up the beautiful things in life, and that bag, leave it where it belongs in the past. Everybody makes mistakes, okay? Don't try to carry that burden and that guilt and that shame. Eventually, and if you're drinking alcohol and doing drugs and stuff, that's a no-no. Remember, I told you, mix all those things together, that's a no-no. So today, my message is brief, but it's about that. We all make mistakes, right? We all make mistakes. We have to move on. If you're able to ask for forgiveness or make it up to that person, great. If you're making the same mistake over and over, there's an issue there and you need to search that and understand why it is that it's happening, right? But if not, leave it there and don't be so hard on yourself, okay? Happy Friday. Have a great weekend, guys. 3 a.m. fog.